Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. We've got one today of a person who's barricaded. He doesn't want to come out of his apartment. The police are there. There's at least two guys. One has a taser, one has a beanbag shotgun, and they're in a narrow hallway. And the guy is going to have some conversations with them.
I did not.
Please come out here. Please.
You have it on cam.
Yes, absolutely, it's on camera. Please come out here.
I'm trying to talk to you. You want
Okay,
to
but
arrest me?
we're not going to talk through the door. I need you to come out of the
So
room.
it's a fairly calm situation. They're talking to him.
Sir,
We'll listen to a little of what they say, the back and forth. I think this is a fairly long body cam video from what I normally show you. I think it's kind of compelling to listen to the dialogue. So let's listen for a minute.
okay.
So come out here, please.
Is this the gentleman I talked to?
Yes, but I need you to come out here and talk to him.
Sir,
Sean.
was this what I said?
There's been 3 officers. We asked you many times, Sean, to come to the door.
You can have a dozen here. It don't matter. This is my residence. My truck driver.
And I appreciate that, man. My uncle was a truck driver. Drove for Swift for 40 years. Nothing but respect for you guys. But I don't have respect for people that
Their
don't follow through with their
resident
words.
is their resident. You can't.
Stand over that way a little bit.
Step above.
We can. We did. We can.
Unless there's a situation. A meaningful
Cruiser 48 on tax
The
31.
situation is you're
This
failing to obey
situation
law
was
and orders.
resolved. She
Stand by,
left.
we're engaged in.
We're good.
No, I need you to come outside.
Copy.
I need you to come out
So
here.
you can get the gist of it. They're talking about they need him to step outside of his doorway. He doesn't want to come out. They don't have a warrant, so they can't go in. They need to talk to him about some situation, which I don't understand the context of the situation. So it's sort of a standoff. They want him to come out. He doesn't want to come out. But at some point, they do start to ratchet up the force and threaten to tase him or to fire the less lethal launcher at him. Now, the important point of this video at close range is that they are really close. And you'll see in a minute when the camera is a little more focused on both the officers and the guy at the door, and you probably saw it in the thumbnail. They are very close. Anything that you shoot at close range is going to be more deadly and more damaging than something that's shot at distance. That's just the physics of the matter. And so that's something that you always have to take into account. When you're shooting really close, the amount of joules is going to be higher.
I have a bad day, you have a bad day, and it could turn into a felony. Right now, you're in misdemeanor realm. Totally laid back. Worst thing you do is we cuff you up, but we're got to speak to you. We want your side of the story. That's where we're at. But we can't stand in this door all day. But I guarantee you, there's going to be a different scenario, like if we have to enter because it's unsafe for us. We go into a different level, okay? So come out here, talk to me. Come out, knuckle bump.
Sir.
Knuckle bump.
Sir.
You gonna knuckle bump? Give me your word. You gave me your word before. Give me your word now that you're gonna act like a man and come out and talk to us.
I will talk to you right here.
That's not gonna happen.
No. I will do this.
All right, come on and come out. Talk to us.
Back up.
Do you see?
Because this will not turn nice.
Dude.
No, sir.
So you notice a change. The guy in the doorway has now
You're
said this
asking,
will not
I'm
turn
asking.
nice. He's ratcheting it up, the
You're
rhetoric.
not in charge.
And the police are now getting more standoffish as well.
And no one needs to get hurt. This is silly. Don't do it.
Let's keep it low level.
Sir, those are rubber bullets.
It's not.
Give a shit
He
about
said,
those.
"Sir, those are
They
rubber
hurt like
bullets."
And it's unnecessary. That's
Yes,
the
it
thing.
is.
So's the taser, so's hands-on.
But
We
I'm
could
just-
have already been interviewing you.
Stop, sir. I'm asking all of you. Okay. I want you to realize something.
Stay back.
Go a different direction.
Sir. I want you to realize something. You. And you. Yes, sir? Yes?
Yes, what?
I want you to realize something. I just looked down.
Don't.
My hand was right here. I just
Don't
looked
do it.
down.
You make a
I
movement
could.
for that, I'm gonna hit you with a left.
Now he's
hook.
basically just tempting them, threatening them, acting suspicious with his hands, doing things that he should
Just
not be
coming
doing.
For this shit. So don't, let's not. Okay.
Do you understand
Yes, sir.
Okay, then
I
why-
had a
why
little
are-
drink tonight because I dealt with the other shit.
And you know
that was
what?
more
I
important.
thought so because you kept repeating yourself. Okay.
I just looked down, my hand is right here. Right here. No more, no less. I just looked down. My options, not yours.
I think this is just a classic example of if you mess
Yes,
around
I
long
don't
enough,
understand
you're
why.
going to do
My
something
option.
stupid and you're going to have some consequences. That's
You're
just
making
what
it.
he's playing a dangerous game right
I'll
now.
give you an option. Right? Yes?
Out with your option.
I'm going to give you an option.
Mm-hmm. So what's my option? Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground, man. Get on the ground.
Get on the ground.
I'm giving you something.
Get on the ground.
I'm giving
Do
you
not reach for
something.
that knife.
Take
Do not
this.
reach for that knife.
Get your hands up.
Take this.
Get your hands up.
Sir,
Hands
I'm gonna
up.
reach in.
Hands
Lower the
up.
gun. Lower the
Hands
gun.
up.
hands up. Please take it.
Don't be
He's actually trying to give him his
Stop.
knife. I don't know
Stop.
why he just
Get
can't
out.
explain it
There.
more clearly.
out
Just
here.
Stop.
all around.
Stop. Get in there.
Get his hand. Get his hand. Get his hand. Stop. Get your hands out from under you, dude. Stop. Get your hands out from under you, dude. Stop resisting.
So what you got here is that you have a guy who's probably not in great physical health. He's been tased. He's been shot in the abdomen with a less lethal beanbag round at close range, and now he's wrestling on his stomach as they're trying to cuff him, and that's a bad recipe and for something to go wrong.
I said several times. I should take it.
You chose a bad option, dude. All right, get him on his
I
side.
said,
All right,
Jesus,
everybody good?
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, get rescue over here.
Oh my God.
He's got more knives.
Take the other one. That's what I said.
Thor, you good?
Jesus Christ. I said take it.
You cannot reach for stuff like that.
No, I didn't reach your shit. I said take it. I put my hip out.
You put your foot towards
Jesus
Sarge.
Christ. I was not above and beyond my fucking door frame. I said take it. And you want to shoot.
So I fast forwarded a little bit here. The guy has now gone unconscious. He's got a major wound on his abdomen, and you'll see it here as he's lying and they're trying to work on him. They're going to have some support teams come in and try to revive him. You can see the wound there. From what I learned, he ultimately had to go and have surgery to have the beanbag, or at least part of the beanbag round, removed from his abdomen. It went through the skin into his body. And I don't think that that's the reason that he's unconscious right now. I think it was a combination of the physical exertion, the tasing, the wrestling, but then that wound certainly didn't help. As you can see there, he got shot at close range. So just a learning lesson here. Anytime you're using your launcher, that you could look at it as that's a good thing because you're going to have more Joules up close, and at close range you're going to be accurate and you're going to deter your threat. And if it's a life-threatening situation, that's certainly the last resort option that you would use. But if you have your launcher set up for less lethal defense at 20 feet, then if you use that same launcher at 6 feet or at point-blank range, you may have an entirely different result. It may actually, depending on your Joules setting, you may be at that threshold where it now goes into what's a really dangerous lethal range. And ultimately, every shot you take, every shot that lands on someone probably has an attorney attached to it, and that is going to come up later in a legal situation. And if that happens, you're going to have to explain why you chose your less lethal launcher. At what point did you feel your life was in danger? At what point did the amount of Joules become a lethal versus a less lethal? And so there are a lot of issues, and it depends on the ammo that you use. Obviously, a more deadly ammo or ammo that is labeled by a company as deadly or bullets or something scary, those are all going to be things that the lawyers are going to salivate over, and they're going to increase the charges if you were not truly in self-defense. Now here the officers were doing their job, trying to wrestle this guy out. I don't know if what they did was correct. I know that the guy survives. I can tell you he survives. And he sued the police officers. So there's a lot going on there. He had to have a surgery. And, you know, he was in his doorway and they reach over and pull him out. They didn't actually go inside, but he did something really strange. He stuck his leg out and sort of was trying to show them that there was a knife in his pocket so they could take it. But instead of just saying clearly, I have a knife in my pocket, you can take it, and put his hands up and act normally, he did some funny move and he ended up getting shot and tased. And it's an unfortunate situation. So a learning lesson here, if you are ever stopped by police, I think you need to learn how to act properly and not be a victim of being, you know, a lot of times you're treated reciprocally to the way you act. And vice versa, if you're in a self-defense situation and you're the one with the less lethal, I think you're also going to need to be extra careful to make sure that when you do use it and you do pull the trigger, that it is a threat that you can defend. And it's a difficult situation. There's always gray areas worthy of a lot of discussion, and that's why I bring you these videos. I wanted to show you this one basically unedited all the way through. I made a few cuts because it was super long and there were a lot of other areas where it's kind of boring. But I wanted you to see some of the dialogue back and forth. The officers really had a discussion. The guy knew that this was a less lethal. I think maybe had they pulled their firearm, maybe he would have been more cooperative. He said those are rubber bullets. He wasn't afraid. And, you know, it almost cost him his life. I think he really got hit hard by that bullet, or the beanbag round. So I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to watch this one out a little bit further and just see how it ends.
Go out that way.
Close the door closest to life care center. Animals problems.
And I think you saw this guy earlier. He's still in the hallway. He was trying to get up there. It's a friend who was just worried about his friend, and now he's ended up now being arrested because he just won't leave and get out of the situation. So that's what they're doing. They ended up arresting him just to get him away and get him out of the building.
Sorry, babe. So, no history of diabetes. All she knows of is high blood pressure, asthma, and he's on some medicine for high blood pressure.
Okay.
Are we having problems?
What's that?
Are we having problems?
I can't hear you.
Are we having problems?
No, a ball trip went out the guide in the gurney.
Oh, okay.
And there was a drunk guy down here, but they took care of him.
That's going to wrap it up for this one. Another good lesson learned. At close range means more power than you expect, and it can have consequences that you have to explain. So keep that in mind. And everybody take care, and we'll see you in the next one.